Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on. Welcome to this evening's whole team winning call. My name is Emma Snedden. I'm here tonight. As you know, myself and Danny Cymru, we take it in turns at the moment to host these calls for you guys of different speakers every week. And I'm absolutely thrilled to have my very, very, very good friend and sideline in the business, and Katie, joining us tonight all the way from America. So I'm just going to find her and then I'll bring her on. And we can, where are you? Let me find you. Okay. Oh, you're there and you're not even driving. Well done, well done, well done. Are you unmuted?
I am, yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Poor Katie. It was like, I'm driving, I'm stuck in traffic, I don't know what I'm going to do. So let me just pop my spotlight on for 1 second and we'll do it side by side for a minute. Here we go. Okay, so we've got just about half an hour of your time, so I want to make the most of it. So instead of me introducing you and telling everybody a little bit about you, why don't you introduce yourselves? We've got lots and lots of new people in the team as well, so let's assume that people don't know your story. Tell us a little bit about your story. I know it's a long time, it's hard to fit into a small space of time, but a little bit about your story, and then I've got some cracking questions for you.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I was literally like speed racing to get home. Me and Rick were just picked up a new TV and then traffic started. I'm like, I can't take it home. So we made it though. We've got this big ass 80-inch TV that's going to go on my wall, and it's heavy. I've never felt a TV like it. So I was like, wow. Anyway, I look a little bit flustered, but we're okay. We're here. Anyway, thank you all for joining me today. And I'm so excited. I feel the most on fire that I've felt in many, many years. And we've truly got some exciting things happening this year. So my story a little bit, if you don't know me or my story, I'm Katie Joem Ren. I go by on the socials as Katie Joem. And I've been in the business for 11 years now. 11 years, it's truly been remarkable. I started off at 23, 24 years old. I was working 3 jobs at the time, one as a operations manager for my dad's business. I was working in a restaurant, and I was also doing TV and extra work as well. So it was kind of all over the place. And because the company, my dad's company I was working for, was a sister company to one of his other companies, it was fairly new. He couldn't really pay me that much, but I wanted to be around in the family business and I wanted to learn from my dad. And I'd been from job to job to job previous to that, trying to find a home that I could really find myself growing, contributing, and making a difference in the workforce. Now, every time I went into the workforce, to be able to just, implement all of that energy into the atmosphere and into the community and into the company, they all got threatened, fired me, whatever it is. So I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm just going to go work for the family business, even if it's minimum pay, it's fine. So, I was doing 3 jobs at the time, and it was roughly around about £800 a month, and I couldn't survive on that. I needed something else as well, or I needed something to change. I really did. And it was my brother at the time that was actually taking the product, little to our family's knowledge. And for the first time ever, watching somebody who never touched fruits and vegetables eat a vegetable for the first time, you're like, you don't know what to do. It's like, what? So when he started eating broccoli more and putting salad on his sandwiches and stuff, I'm like, what are you doing, a new diet? Like, what is it that you're doing? And he was like, no, I'm just taking these pills. Well, he just actually left. I'm a big protective sister. So I'm like, oh my God, what are you taking? Better not be steroids. Anyway, and he showed it to me, and it was fruits and vegetables in a capsule. And I'm like, that's it. That's all you're taking. And this is changing you. And he was like, yeah. So this is how crazy the business can be sometimes, how you introduce people into your network. My brother's friend used to go to DW Gym, who met John Holowati. My brother's friend, Alex, that's what he's called, told Rick to go to John for personal training to improve on his ice hockey skills. He was a professional hockey player at the time. And so he met up with John, started training with John. He looked at his diet saying, dude, you need more fruits and veggies in your diet, take these. And since then, introduced it to me, dragged me to an event, kicking and screaming. I'm like, dude, I can't afford anything right now. I don't want to be sold to anything. He says, no, just come along and learn something. I'm like, okay. And I sat there, we were in this massive room, this conference room, this like 2-foot guy that looks like something from the Shire. telling me about health and fitness. And I'm like, all right. So I'm sat there all skeptical, arms folded. I'm like, well, what's he going to teach me? Go on, come on, come on, come on. So as I sat there, and I'm like, he's like, come to the front, come and sit there front. For God's sake, here we go. So I'm sat there, arms folded. I was like, go on, tell me, whatever you're going to do, just tell me, crack on. Anyway, he went through the whole presentation, and I was like, if I had a hat, I would have eaten it, because it was truly amazing. And I thought, do you know what? This makes sense. I don't eat enough fruits and veggies. I need this in my life. And when he talked about the business, it was one slide that got me. And it was these little columns that went all the way up with little people on top. And it went from dealer all the way up to NMD, because that's all we had at the time. And there were no bonuses attached to it. But at the time, NMD bonus was like £1,000. And I'm like, can you imagine, like, if I got £1,000 in my bank account, like, what would happen? Wow. I was like, I don't know what NMD is, but I want that. I've been looking for that, something to grow, something to contribute, and something to make a difference. I'm like, yes, growth and contribution. That's my jam. That's what I want. So I thought, sign me up. Well, I don't have the money. I'm broke. I don't have, it was like £100 for the sign up fee, and then the product, all I could afford was the chewables at the time. Complete wasn't a thing back then. So I was like, okay, well, I can't swallow pills, but I want to take the chewies. I'll take the chewies. Okay. I'm like, all right, this is going to put me in my overdraft, but I'm going to be determined to make that money back. So if I lose nothing, then awesome. And I thought, I'll buy my product fee, and I'm going to get my chewables, and it's going to put me in my overdraft, but it's going to be okay, because I'm going to make that money back. I'm going to hit that first promotion. It'll be fine. And I did just that. And for a year, I somehow got to Senior Partner Plus. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you how I got there. It just happened. I think through beg, borrowing, stealing my friends, my family's going like shoving Juice Plus down them. And I was stuck there for a year, and I didn't really know what I was doing. And me and John tried every trick in the book, pretty much, as John was my upline. My brother then had dropped out the business at that point. And we were there. So he come around to my office one day, because I was still working for my dad. And we're there stuffing capsules into envelopes and putting scoops of protein into little envelopes and sending them out. It looked like a drug lord. My office is like a drug lord place, with like pills and powder and everything all over the place. We were just like determined to get this out there. And we were putting stuff in flyers into pigeonholes at different places. I mean, you named it, we tried it. He said, there's a yellow pages, Katie, go and call people. And I'm like, dude, I'm not doing that. I've been in a call center. We ain't going down that road again. So when I say we tried everything, we did. But we had just this vision, and we didn't really know it at the time. And I was ready to quit. I was ready to throw in the towel. And he said, look, just come to this one event. And if you still feel the same after that, then fine, I'll never message you again. And I went to one event, and I heard one speaker that just set off a light bulb in my head. And from that moment on, I got unstuck, I got focused, and I moved forward. And within 12 months of making that really strong decision, I was going to really commit myself to this business. I went NMD in I think it was like 13 months, and then 15 months from making that decision, I went Club 100. And from that moment on, my life has been forever changed. So that's my story. The first part of it, we've got I feel like there's many, many chapters to that, but that's really the first part of it and what's happened so far.
I love it. And there's probably tons of that even the people who know you really well probably don't know that early part of it, because we tend to focus a lot in our business about people's success and people are like at a certain level or whatever, and I really actually love the early startup stories, because everybody starts in the same position, right? And I think it's really important that we share what our experience of that was, because when we're bringing new people into the business, right, we don't know what their background is. And a couple of things that you touched on there that I want you to just expand a little bit more on, around the determination, and you said you got yourself unstuck. So one of the questions I had for you, which was towards the end, but we'll whiz it up to the front, which was, if you were a sales coordinator now, or when you were a sales coordinator, how did you get yourself unstuck? Like, what does that actually mean, and what does it look like for the people who are in that place right now?
Oh, I love that question. Thank you, Emma. I feel like getting unstuck is it's a frustrating place to be. And I've been in it multiple times. I really have. Through the 11 years I've been in this business, there's been multiple times where I've been stuck, where I'm frustrated and I just don't feel like I'm growing. I don't feel like I'm doing what I need to be doing and all these different things. And you really get into imposter syndrome, and then you start comparing, and then you start, your mind wandering to other things or other opportunities or even other companies. Like it's totally normal. And the moment, what I've done probably 4 times in my 11 years in this business, I'd say 3. The first one halfway through, and then lately, in the last 6 months, I've really sat down with myself, and I really look at what's important to me. So the 2 most important things to me is family and health. Those are 2 most important things for me. And that's where I then shift back into that. So I get around my family. You're my family. I get locked into John. I reach out to Emma, my sideline sister, for the last 10 years. I dive into my personal connections in the business. And then with that, I start then refocusing back on my health. And those are just my 2 important values. But I would say for somebody, in generally, who is out there stuck right now, I would say is redo your vision board and get excited. And then lock arms with your upline. And if they're not available, find your next upline until you find somebody that is available. I think I can speak for myself and Emma and John. Is like, no matter where you are in your business, we're going to help you. Doesn't matter if you're 10 generations down from me or 50 for that matter, I'm still going to help you, because I know what it means for somebody to wrap your arms around you and make you feel like you're important. So get locked in with your upline. And then it's a decision every single day. Is to no longer buy into the sabotage story that you have for yourself, for your business, and start to rewrite a new story. So it was not long ago, it's since I moved back from Florida, I was like, right, new chapter, new fresh start. What do I want? I want to be able to build and expand a business like I've done in Europe over here in the US, right? How am I going to do that? Is by making a decision and getting committed to it every single day. Every time you wake up is going, what am I going to do in my business every single day? So it's all mindset, guys. It's most of it is mindset, this business. The rest of it is action. When your mindset is right, you move mountains. And to get your mindset right is to switch off all distractions. I'm not going to focus on the company drama. I'm not going to focus on the drama of someone else leaving. Goodbye. Thank you. Appreciate you. Love you. I wish you nothing but happiness and joy and peace in your life. But this is where I'm going. I'm blinkered, and that's that. And when you make that conscious decision that nothing else matters other than you and your family, game on. So like I said, guys, all mindsets, all up here. So what you're watching, what you're listening to, and what you're surrounding yourself with helps you every single day. The moment that I don't speak to John for a couple of days, I'm like, so we feed off each other, same way that me and Emma feed off each other. It's like, get around those people that are going to fuel your fire, and the better that it is every single day.
Yeah, I love that. And John and I did the Mindset Monday call yesterday evening. We said almost exactly the same thing that you've just said there, which is really interesting, because it is about that. It's about who you hang about with, like virtually and in the real world, and in within your business too. So thank you so much for sharing that. A couple of things that you said there again that I loved was you got rid of all the distractions, but the one I wanted to focus a little bit on was making the decision every day, because sometimes it can be a bit boring. If we're honest, right? Doing the same thing every day. And I know certainly John and I have said loads of times, if this is all I've got to do all day, every day, I'm cool with that, right? It's way better than what I was doing before. But what can you talk to us a little bit about, the importance of being pleasantly persistent? Do you know what I mean? So, patiently persistent as well, and patience within your business.
Yeah, we got to be patient. It's not one of my qualities I possess. I'm not going to lie. If I'm stood in a line, I'm like this. So I'm like rocking back and forth when I'm stood in the postal line, and I'm like, I'm going to go insane here. Or if we're in the drive-through for whatever, I'm like, I'm going to shoot myself. So being patient is not my forte. However, when you know what we know, it's easier for us to be patient. So for you who haven't really seen what we've seen in the bigger picture and what we've experienced, it's knowing that nothing comes to you easy. Okay, it can come to you easy, but nothing really comes to you easily. And it's anything in life, whether it's your relationship, your kids, your business, whatever it is, you have to learn the art of patience in life in general. And knowing when you're looking at your vision board, when you're building your team, when you're building your customer community, that everything in life takes time. And the biggest lesson that I got taught from Alex, my beautiful upline who's up there with the fairies, he's not with angels because he's with fairies, definitely, is that if you work hard at this business for the next 3 to 5 years, you won't have to work as hard again in the rest of your life. And it was so true. Now, some of it not so true. But for the majority of my career with Juice Plus so far, I've been able to sit back and not work as hard as what I did for the first 3 to 5 years. Now I'm going to go, right, round 2, let's go. I'm ready for that next level now. And it helps me, reapply myself and going, if I just put my foot on the pedal just a little bit more, woo, off we go again. So that's the beauty of this, is knowing what's ahead for you in the next 3 to 5 years. You've got to have that vision in your mind. And again, it's being around the people who have been there, walk the walk and talk the talk, and been there through the last decade that can help inspire you to show you the bigger vision moving forward, and knowing what you're working towards and having that patience to do so. And it's also being kind to yourself as well. Being patient comes back to being kind to yourself. So when you're kind to yourself, you know that you can be more patient with the journey that you're on. We're all on a journey here. And the moment that you accept that and realize that, the better it is for you moving forward.
I think it's really, really important point, which is the reason why I'm going to reiterate it, is that the 3 to 5 years thing. So there'll be people on the call who've been in the business longer than that, who aren't yet where they want to be, right, and haven't reached the level that they wanted to reach yet. And it's like, well, hold on a minute. I thought in 3 to 5 years I'd be able to take it a bit easier. So I think the question I guess what I want to go back to is, you said then about, starting again, and where we are right now, it's like, building almost from scratch, grateful for what you have and going, right, here we go again. So are you going back into like that very first 3-year period in your brain where you're going to work at that level again? And if you haven't got there yet, is it a longer game, or what's the situation for those people? How do they get themselves open up to the next level?
That's a really good question, because I agree, you could be in this 6 years and not have passed SSC yet. There's people that I know that have been in this business for many, many years, decades, and have not even reached NMD yet. And I go, why? Why are you still here if you've not reached NMD yet? So that's not important to me. What's important to me is that every month I'm getting paid from the stories that I share, the people that I help, and the community that I'm a part of. And for me, being part of this is way more valuable than not being part of it. So I'm going to stay consistent and persistent in my journey until I get to where I want to be. Now, where you want to be, there's going to be obviously a very slight 2mm shift, whether that's your mindset or your action taking, that's going to take you to that next level. We can all work super hard, but we've got to work smart in our business. I've been there, I've done that. I've hustled until I've been broken into a few tiny pieces. That's not the way to do it. But working very smart is more important than working hard. So what I would do if I'm in that position, I'm just going to plug my laptop in. It's going to die. Go. It's a really interesting question. So it's going, what is important to you? Get the hell in, there we go. It's going, what is important to you? And for those who are still working towards that goal, it's going, you know what, I'd rather be doing this than spending my time doing that. So that's what I would say to those guys. It's what's important to you. surround yourself with that more so. And then with that little 2mm shift that you need to take in order to go to that next level, it's all down to you. You've got to figure that out for yourself. My 2mm shift is going to be different to Emma's. Mine might be consistency, but Emma's might be time management. So where is it that you feel like you are not, I'm going to say falling short? Where are you falling short in order to get to that next level? And you don't have to make a drastic change in the daily activity of what you're doing now. It's a very, very small shift that's going to take you in a completely different direction. So if you think, I'm going to use the analogy of golf. So if you imagine you are trying to hit the ball a certain way, it keeps going in the wrong direction, right? I've played golf. It's the most frustrating game I've ever played in my life. However, if someone just showed me that little bit tweaking my golf club, that little bit, 2 inches to the right, my golf ball is going to go in a completely different direction. And that's what our business does. It might be that you do 2 more lives a week. It might be that you do the self-work, Excel. You do know it. You don't need to sit here on this call going, I don't know what it is that I need to do to make that shift. You do, because you've got to go inward and look deep, going, what's holding me back? That little shift, what's holding you back, is going to take you into another direction. And that's what's going to change from you going, all right, I've been doing this for 8 years and I'm still at this position, to the next position moving forward.
I think that the message about patience and persistence it's such a balance, isn't it? Right? About, we can be patient, but you don't want to be patient forever to the point where you're not actually moving forwards. And one of the things actually on the podcast that we listened to last week as part of the mindset training stuff was, he talked about always every day asking yourself, what could I have done better? What could I have done differently? What could I, always and forever, every day, all the time, what could I have done differently? What could I have done better? And I think that's something that you know, when you're looking back at your 11 years and you're moving forward to the next 11, it's such a crucial question, isn't it? Even though people might look at you and go, oh my God, like amazing success. And I remember when I met you, you were talking about wanting to go and live in Florida, and there you are, like, like so many things ticked off, but yet we could all have done something different or better. And certainly I would look at people who aren't where they want to be yet. I'm not where I want to be yet, and I know you're not either, right? So what can we do differently and better is such a good quality question to ask yourself. So thank you so much for that. I wanted you to share the analogy that you shared with me the other day about renovating a house, which I know you're actually doing as well, so that's probably where it comes from. But we were talking about taking ownership of your business and playing the long game. Like, we're all quite impatient, aren't we? So tell us a little bit, what was that about, and how is it relevant for people who are in the business right now?
So me and Emma were talking. I was driving back from my brother's house, and I had an hour, and she was voice noting me, and I was like, screw it, I'm going to call her. And we ended up being on the phone for over an hour. And I was saying, look, I really feel like our business right now, and I've seen so many different stages of our business. I've seen it where it's literally on fire. I've seen it where it's leveled out a little bit. I've seen it where we've run out of products and, crap's hitting the fan and we can't cope, and, I can't cope. And it was crazy. And I've also seen it where it's been super quiet. So I've experienced like every kind of wave through the business so far. And I've seen it come full circle. I feel like I've seen it come full circle. But what I really believe is happening right now is I'm not even in the middle of renovating, but I'm fixing up a few things in my home. It's got a lot of work to do. And I was saying to Emma, I said, I feel like our business, or the company, let's talk about the company. The company right now is this house. It's like my home right now, and I'm doing up my home room by room and remodeling it room by room. And I really believe when I'm done with this home, it's going to be this beautiful home that I can invite people over to, and it's going to be this warm, cozy feeling, and it's going to be beautiful, and I'm going to be so proud of it, and I want to shout about it all the time and put it all over my social media and stuff like that. And I feel like right now our company is in a renovation mode. It's in a remodel mode, but we're remodeling each part of the company as like we're remodeling each part of a home. So, you know, they've been remodeling the corporate structure, the people that are involved, they're remodeling the packaging and updating the logo. Like, you know, time by time, little by little, they're going to be renovating different parts of the home of Juice Plus, right? And we have to be patient with that. It's super frustrating. Trust me, I'm in this renovation mode right now with my own home, and it's only you can only do that part when you sort out this part. It's like my bathroom right now needs a new shower and handles, and it's dripping and it's corroded and it's dripping the copper, I don't know what it is. I'm no DIY expert, but it's going all over the tiles that I've freshly painted. And I'm like, okay, so until I fix the faucet and the handles from dripping, put up a new shower fixture, I can't then repaint all of that. Then I can't put a tiki wood floor, and I can't then, you know, do the rest of the bathroom. I can't replace the what's it called? The bathroom unit and all that stuff. So it's step by step, but I have to do that first, to do that first, to do that first, and that first. And this is where our business is right now. Our company is that we have to fix this, fix that. But I'm telling you now, I see it. I see it so much. I'm a little bit, the last few years, I've really tapped into spirituality, and it's freaking me out, because things happen to me that happen that I see and visualize. I might sound a bit crazy, but it happens all the time. And I see this beautiful remodeled home called Juice Plus that we all get to be part of. And I promise you, you stay patient with this, you stay in it, it's going to be messy, it's going to be dusty, there's going to be shit falling off the walls, it's going to be annoying, there's going to be noise and drilling and all of this stuff going on. And you're like, when is it ever going to get better? When is it going to change? When are we going to be able to enjoy this truly to what it is? I'm telling you now, it's coming. You keep in this business for the next 3 to 5 years. I'm telling you now, when I'm 40 years old, I'm 36 now, when I'm 40 years old, this business is going to be completely different. And I'm going to have a bigger, better business than I've had the last decade, moving forward into the next decade, moving forwards. I'm already into my next decade, but this from, you know, being 10 years to then 20 years is going to be fantastic, because we're going to have this beautifully remodeled company that people are going to be begging to be a part of, because we're going to be relevant, current, and needed every single time through each decade that we go through in this Juice Plus business. So be patient. It's going to be messy. It's not going to be fun. You know, like I said, it's going to be dust everywhere and workers here, workers there. And it just imagine remodeling a home room by room. That's what's happening in our company right now. Stay patient, because I promise you, when we're finished, it's going to be this beautifully remodeled home that you're going to be so proud of and want to invite people into all the time. You still keep inviting people to it. There's nothing wrong with remodeling and having people over and enjoying the process of it all and going, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and this is going to go there, and we're going to do this. That's what we're doing with our business right now. So enjoy it.
Thank you. I love that. When you shared that with me the other day, I was like, I need to get you on the call to share that, because it's so, I mean, lots of people in the chat, they're saying great analogy as well. And it's a really powerful way to explain what a lot of us are feeling, I think, which is that, you know, and a little bit of the next level of that I was thinking about the other day when we spoke was like, imagine if you moved out of the house before it was finished, and then drive past like a year later and it looks like this fucking awesome mansion, and you're like, oh my God, I put all that work and now someone else is living in it. And there's a little bit of that, right, where we get frustrated, well, I can't be bothered, I'll just go and move into another house that's already done or whatever. So just absolutely fantastic analogy. So I'm recording this, you can watch it back, guys, if you need that, like just that little bit of reassurance and reminder that it's a process, right? And we're part of that process, and I'm incredibly proud of where we've been for the last, you know, 50 years and 10 years and 11, 12 years that we've been part of it, but the next 10, 11, 12 is super exciting. So it's almost a little bit about being brave.
Can you imagine when it's like Alex was in the business 25 years? Can you imagine how he saw things change through the renovation of Juice Plus, through, you know, the air days that they had, to then water purifiers, to then, you know, it becoming Juice Plus. Like, they've been in, that's business though. You're remodeling all the time and updating and improving, because if you just stayed where you are right now, then you're going to get left behind in the time. So we have to be constantly moving with the times, upgrading, doing better, creating better. And that's what we are a part of, guys. This is part of business. Okay, this is how it is. I see my dad and his business, the amount of things he's changed over the last decade. You have to do it. And this is what you have to be part of. And it's part of the journey, but you've got to enjoy it. Like they move the goalpost like this all the time. Like, yeah, all right, you're gonna move it. I'm gonna score there. I'm gonna go, all right, you're gonna go, okay, boom. Like you just got to go with it. There's no point being frustrated at it. You just got to enjoy it.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things you touched on now is the longevity of the business and the people in the business. And I know at the times that I've had, you know, difficult times in my own business, the people who've been around a long time have been that like rock in the river. And like, so you have this renovation going on, but we also have this absolute sturdy, rock solid business that sits behind that. And honestly, guys, isn't that unique? Like I've never found anything else like that. We're so lucky. And unfortunately, we're running out of time. So I wanted to ask you one last question, if I can. Thank you so much for all of that stuff that you shared so far. And I know that we could actually talk to you all night, but we don't have all night. What is the best, this is a bit of a toughie, what is the best piece of advice that you have ever been given?
So much. So much. When you sent me that question, I'm like, that's a tough one.
What's your instinct? Instinctively, what comes to mind? That's usually about right at the moment.
It's always Alex. It's always Alex one-liners that he always used to say, and it just stuck with me all the time. But the biggest piece of advice I got was the 3 to 5 year thing. And, you know, if you get to 5 years, it's kind of like, all right, let's start that cycle again, right? 3 to 5 years. But what do I need to do differently? All right, let's make some shifts. Let's try something new. Let's do this. Let's do that. But the other thing is as well, it's probably, it's been various different people that have said this, and it's something that I can echo in my own business and my own success, is that I really feel like events build your business. So obviously being on this call today and training call is super important, but the power of live events, there's nothing else like it. If I swear to God on my life, if I hadn't gone to that event, kicking and screaming that John begged me to go to, I couldn't afford to go. He threw me into the side of his TT that he had at the time. He had a hairdresser's car. And and I was like, I can't afford to go, but like, I can't even afford the petrol. I had a BMW Series 1. I was like, I can't afford it. Like, there's no way. So he put me in his car and he picked me up and we went, and I had a light bulb moment that moment. And that's where the complete idea came along. No one was using complete back then. And it completely changed our business worldwide, just by taking a simple concept of going, here, have this protein shake for your breakfast or as a meal replacement, and follow a few simple healthy rules, and bosh, you know, look good and feel good. And it exploded and went global. And I wouldn't have had the idea or that shift, that 2 millimeter shift that I had at that event that time. I wouldn't be sat here looking out at palm trees and a pool that definitely needs cleaning, and a home that I've been able to afford all by myself. $500,000 home I've been able to afford by myself. That, and I'm saying that to brag, like, at all, but that is the power of just going to an event and hearing something, not just hearing it, but feeling it. We can be on this Zoom call and, you know, you're a screen to me right now. You are a screen. But when you're in a room full of other people like-minded who are all thinking and focusing and being in the same, you know, the same space, that energy is so different. And when you feel somebody on stage, their story or the tip that one little thing that's going to make you go, oh my God, that right there, I need that for my business. And you start applying it and you go to that next level, you'll hear it on a call, but you won't feel it. And there's a difference between, I really feel like when you go to an event, you take it in physiologically, physiologically. Right now, you're just taking it in one ear and out the other. Like, no disrespect, I love you. But being at an event, you feel it and you embody it because of the energy that's around you. People feed off human energy. That's why we all went stir crazy in COVID, because we're all inside and we wasn't around each other. So if you haven't got your ticket for On Fire event, I swear if I could teleport myself to that event and teleport myself back, I would. If I didn't have a psycho ex-husband that is watching my every move, I would be on a plane coming over there this weekend just for the event to then fly back. You know, like I would give anything to be there, because I know just hearing that one little thing from one speaker can change your whole business and it will change your whole life. So if there's one piece of advice that I can give to you that someone shared with me, is that events change your business and change your life. So as a leader, I'm speaking to you, start putting on events again. Whether that's a little, you know, a coffee shop corner in Costa where you all get round and sit round every week, that one place that people know that they can turn up to is there. And if there's an event coming up like On Fire, get to it. If there's an event down in, you know, other end of the country, get to it. Like, I know finances are tight right now and stuff like that, but if I had the opportunity, I really, really would, because I want to invest back into myself as a business owner who wants to move forward in their business. So just go. That's the biggest advice I can give you, is events truly built my business. I wouldn't have the business I have today, I wouldn't have the people I have today, and I wouldn't have my life that I have today if it wasn't for being able to plug into events all the time. So I'm on a mission to bring that back. I know that's a bit difficult, 5,000 miles away, but I'm encouraging my leaders, I'm encouraging my team, like, get to an event or put on an event. I'm going to be putting on an event here in Sarasota in the next couple of months. Just trying to like get building towards it, because, you know, I don't have a team here yet, but I've got team across the United States, you know, we're all gearing towards Arizona for our spring conference. You know, everyone's dotted around in the US. It's a bit harder, but you guys, you know, you can do it. You can get there. If there's a will, there's a way. I promise you, you won't regret it.
Absolutely. There's loads of people in the chat there saying, I'm getting a bus for like 7 hours on the bus from Cardiff. Someone else like, I don't know how I'm getting there yet, but I'm going to go. Someone's coming on a coach from Wiltshire. We actually have, guys, a thread in the PJ group with people offering cars and lifts and spaces in cars and all that kind of stuff. So if you're struggling, have a look, see if there's anywhere near you that you can jump in a car with somebody. If you have space in your car, offer that to somebody, because you know, we don't share this stuff because for us, we do it for you, right? We want you to be on Fire or any other event, but especially on Fire, because that's on Saturday, for your business. And it's not, my story is exactly the same as Katie's. It was an event that changed my whole business as well. So thank you so much, guys. Please say thank you to Katie in the chat. Pop a little post on your Facebook or your stories to say thank you as well. Katie, thank you so much for jumping on all the way from America. I really appreciate you. Appreciate you doing this. Appreciate you every day. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for jumping on. I will pop this recording in the group as soon as I get a second. Have a fabulous evening and day, and I will see you guys, all of you, on Saturday in Liverpool. Have a good one. Bye, guys. Thank you.